Hey guys, I'm Jorge with Alarm Grid. Today we're going to be going over how to change the installer code on a 2GIG GC3 panel. Now we're going to start off at the home screen here, 2GIG GC3. One thing I want to just touch base on real fast is the installer code for all 2GIG panels by default is usually 1561. Now the code could be different if your monitoring company has changed it, or if you yourself or the previous homeowner has changed it. Now I'm going to show you two ways to get into programming to change the installer code. The first way is going to be the easiest way, it's the quickest way to get into it. We're going to go into Installer Toolbox. There's a quick shortcut on the screen which a lot of people miss. It's going to be in the very top right hand corner. It's actually the 2GIG logo. Once you click that, it's going to take you directly to a keypad to enter in the installer code. So I'm going to hit the 2GIG logo on the top right. My default installer code 1561. Next, you're going to go ahead and go to System Configuration. After you do that, you make your way over to Panel Programming. And the very first question is going to ask you what you want to change the installer code to. For the sake of this video, I'm going to change it to 4112. So I type in 4112. That's my change. I'm going to go ahead and make my way back. So I'm going to hit Return to System Configuration. You'll see here, it'll actually orange out the logo, letting me know that I've changed something in that sub-menu. After I've made sure I made all my changes, I'm going to hit that back arrow key one last time. It's actually going to give me a display and a summary of everything I have changed. Since the only thing I changed was the installer code, you're going to see there, question 1, enter the installer code, and I changed it to 4112. You can save, go back and make any other changes, or discard. I'm going to go ahead and hit save.
System disarm.
After I hit save, it backs me out to my home screen, and I have changed my default installer code to another installer code, which I set to 4112. Now that's the first way of changing it. It's the fastest way. It's the easiest way to change it. I'm going to show you a second way to change it. In the bottom right hand corner, there's going to be a system settings. You can either use your master code, which for this panel we have it defaulted, so it's 1111. So if your master code has been changed by you or your monitoring company, you're going to want to use that. Or you can use your installer code. Remember, we just changed it to 4112. Now there's two things you want to make sure. If I use my master code and I go to system settings, my master code is 1111. Takes me to the settings page, and from there, if you just scroll down, you'll see the installer toolbox. Since I use my master code, it's going to bring up a keypad, and it's going to ask me for my installer code. My installer code is 4112. Now I'm going to show you guys something else. I'm just going to back out. If I go into system settings, and instead of using the master code, I use my installer code, 4112. The system knows I've used the installer code, so now when I go into installer toolbox, it will not prompt me for a code. It'll just take that code that I used, and it'll take me directly into the installer toolbox, which I can then go back in, go to system configuration. I'm going to make my way over to panel programming, and just again, I'm going to change my default installer code back to 1561. I'm going to return, again, the back arrow key. I'm going to hit save.
System disarmed.
Boom.
Ready to.
Now, a lot of people always question if they should change the installer code. Doesn't matter if it's 2GIG, Honeywell, any panel you have, the installer code, you do not need to change it. You can actually leave it defaulted. It actually causes less confusion when you're working with your monitoring company trying to get into programming to make any panel settings changes or any system configuration changes. The installer code, like I said, does not need to be changed. The only thing is that we do recommend is not to arm the system with the installer code. Only the installer code can disarm the system if it's been armed with the installer code. So if you use your master code, if you use any other user code that's inside the panel to arm the system, and then you try to use the installer code to disarm the system, that won't work. That's basically a way to prevent any installer from entering back into the house to disarm your system. Only the installer code can disarm if the system's been armed with the installer code. So again, that was just a quick video on how to change the installer code on a 2GIG GC3. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button underneath. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and enable notifications. That way whenever we upload new content, you guys can get notified. Again, I'm George with Alarm Grid. Thank you guys. See you guys next time.